Hey everyone, I'm Anthony with Courage and Grow, and I am very excited to bring you this tutorial on how to set up an email opt-in form for free on your website. I know a lot of folks are very curious how you get those like pop-up forms to show up on your website, and lots of folks are A, confused about how to even get started doing that, and B, they think that it costs a lot of money to do that. And in fact, neither of those things are true. It's actually quite simple, and you can do it totally for free when you know where to look. And I'm talking like everything from the pop-up form, popping up, catching someone's email address and adding them to a list, and then you being able to email them on an automated basis, as well as like on a regular campaign basis, all for free. I'm serious, this video is going to show you everything. So what we're going to do, you need to sign up for a service called MailerLite. It's a freemium tool, right? It's an email marketing software, and you sign up for MailerLite, and once you're there, it scales with you. I think it's a great business model in that it is totally free for up to 1,000 subscribers and 12,000 emails per month. So if you're just getting started, this tool is perfect. You absolutely do not have to pay, and then it's incrementally more expensive as you add more people. But ideally, as you're adding more people, you're adding more revenue. So that kind of covers itself. It's a great model. So let's flip into the computer and let's go to, this is a link you can use, is courageandgrow.com/MailerLite. And I will tell you, this is a referral link. So we both get a perk out of it. I believe you save $20 if you sign up for the paid service. And then I will get a kickback if you do that as well. So I greatly appreciate your support if you use my link. So go to courageandgrow.com/MailerLite, which will redirect you to the sign up page, and it looks like this. And I just want to show you briefly the pricing. Okay, so like I said, it's up to 12,000 emails a month for free, and it's legit free. Like it's legit. I've used this for forever. And then if you want to step up to unlimited emails per month, it's only $10 a month for up to 1,000 subscribers. And I think that's probably going to cover most folks. And you can see the price is totally reasonable. So sign up for an account here. You do need to have a website, which obviously you do because you're watching this video. So to sign up, you have to use your domain, and you've got to have an email address, I believe, if I recall correctly, registered at your domain. So I have hello@courageandgrow.com or anthony@courageandgrow.com. You need an email address like that. I don't think it'll work if you just try to sign up with like a Gmail account. Okay, so I have this already, and what we want to do, this is the inside of MailerLite once you get it set up, and I'm on the Forms tab here at the top, and we're going to create a pop-up form, but I want to do two things first before we actually create the form. We're going to come to the Subscribers tab, and then we're going to come to Groups, and this is kind of where all of you can start breaking down your lists. So I have a general Courage and Grow group that I have that catches everyone. Everyone that's, will end up inside of that group to start. So no matter who it is, that all of my subscribers end up in that group. So you'll want to come to Create Group, and I would recommend that general, you can call it general, you could call it mailing list, you could call it your business name, whatever you want, but create that group first. So that's step number one. Then while we're here, you also want to come to Fields, and we're going to create all of these, every single one here except this bottom one, source, is default, right? You see I don't have a rename or delete button here. So I created this source field, and you'll see why that's important. So when you come here, you'll want to hit add new field. I would call it source, and then you're going to leave it as a text field and hit create. And then that will populate that here, and you'll see why in a moment. So let's come back to Forms. And we're going to create a pop-up. That's exactly what you want. And you can do an embedded form, which means like one that actually lives inside the text or whatever, inside the elements on a page, or you're going to do a pop-up. This video is about pop-ups, so let's create that. We're going to give this a name. I'm just going to call it Sample. And then it's going to load, and I'm going to drink some coffee. Listen, it's 7:04 in the morning, and I'm being all chipper on camera, so... You're going to then choose which group you've already created, which is why I had you do that. You probably will only have the one, but choose the group you want your subscribers to go to. So when they enter their name and email and hit subscribe, this is the group that that person will get put into. So you'll hit save and continue after you choose it. And when that loads, Then it's going to give you some sample options. It looks like there are just 4 templates. So you can pick one of these and go from it. So we're just going to choose this one. You can preview them and hit select. We're just going to go with that. And I mean, just for basic stuff, I mean, totally for free. I think these are pretty good looking. So then it'll take you to this area where you can customize them. And this gives you the option here up on the upper right side. It says there's a form type here where you can do a pop-up on the screen or at the bottom, that appears at the bottom of the page, or in the bottom right corner. So we'll just leave it the standard. And I'm just going to leave all the styling settings as default, because this is just a demo, but you would come in and change the headline. You would come in and change the copy here. The one thing I will point out is if you come up under settings, I would put here a couple of things you might want to consider. This confirmation checkbox asks people to opt in, and you can change the text here if you want. To confirm that they want to be on your list, it just adds another layer, making sure people do want your emails. If you're worried about GDPR, this is another way to flag that. If you're giving people the option to choose what lists they want to be on, that's what interest groups is. It will show the groups that you've selected. So on that tab, when we picked the group, that everyone that we select will populate this. And then a CAPTCHA, I don't do this with my pop-up forms because I find that I'm not getting a lot of spam with those. But if you do, you can come in and turn that on. But the one I would absolutely turn on is hidden segmentation field. I can speak. And this is where that custom field is going to come in. You're going to come to use custom field and choose source, and then you're going to give it a value. So let's say it's your general newsletter pop-up. You can call it newsletter. Or let's say you're doing a special promotion right on your site. You're promoting something specific. This is where you can put that value. You can give it a title, whether it's 50% discount or President's Day sale or newsletter or whatever type of sign-up. If you're giving away a freebie, that's what I do. So I have my ultimate checklist for amazing WordPress sites. Incidentally, if you want that and don't have it, courageandgrow.com/ultimate checklist. That will get you there. I can put here ultimate. I'm going to put dash checklist. Never want to use spaces or things like that. It's just a habit from writing URLs in code. So I would put ultimate checklist there. Then this field will be populated, and so you know where that person came in, right? So if you've got a bunch of these and you want to kind of collect the stats on what pop-ups are performing, this is the way to do it. So now you've got a field that checks that box, okay? So we're going to hit next. And then what's going to happen is it's going to take 4 days to load. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pause the video really fast so you don't have to sit here and watch this load, and I will be right back. Okay, it actually didn't take long. It popped up right before I hit pause, and then I hit pause anyway. So anyway, this next tab asks how you want the pop-up to display. And so we're going to leave it right now just for demo purposes to wait 5 seconds. The other option is to show when the user scrolls to 50%. You can turn on all 3 of these, and to show before closing the page. I'm going to leave off the 50% just because it's not necessary. We'll leave on the 10. You know what? Let's make it 10. And then the show before closing the page. And I'll show you how both of those work. That's because it gives me a little more time to show you this one by making that 10. Then it asks, how frequently do you want someone to see this? So it basically, when they close out of it, it'll put a cookie in their browser saying, don't display this until X amount of time has passed. So I usually put that at 1 week. I think that's not that annoying. People are used to seeing pop-ups and closing out of them. 1 day is too much. That means every time a visitor visits your site, day after day, they're going to keep seeing it. So I do 1 week. And then this asks, do you want to schedule this from a certain time to a certain time? So if you're running a specific promotion, for instance, like I said, you're doing a 50% off sale of whatever, or President's Day sale, you can put it over the weekend of President's Day, and it will only show during that time period and in the right time zone. But I'm just going to leave it set to none for now. And then it's asking, do you want it to always show, to hide on specific pages, or only show in specific spots? And then it also gives you the ability to hide based on screen size. Some use cases for this. I typically on my sites prefer my plugin or my pop-ups not to show on the home screen. It just depends on what I'm doing. So when I was doing a podcast, I didn't want the pop-up appearing on the home screen. I wanted people to focus on the content. When they were actually in the blog posts, that's when I would want it to show up. So I would do hide on specific pages, and I would just put slash because like this. That typically will connote your home page, and that would prevent it from showing there. You could do other specific pages. More robust plugins and tools will have a thing to exclude or to only show on the post type. This one doesn't, but it gets you there, right? It's going to get you started. You can always kind of iterate later, but we're going to leave this just always show for right now. And then we're going to hit save and continue. And I don't even know if I clicked it. Yeah, I believe I did. MailerLite can sometimes be a little laggy. It's not bad, but sometimes I do recognize that. But again, this is a free thing, and it's very reasonably priced, and they get the emails out consistently, so I will say that. Now, this next piece, this JavaScript, you could come in here and install this JavaScript code yourself, but why? We're using WordPress, and they have a plugin. So I'm going to, you see this little line here? It's not very obvious, but right here, this will allow us to integrate that a lot more simply. So I'm going to open this, and this is the download page for the plugin. I'm going to download it, and then I'm going to come to, this is a sample website that I've set up for testing purposes. I've got some demo WooCommerce content and things in here, but we're going to come to plugins, and a nifty little thing, a little shortcut that you may not know about Chrome. You see how the download is living here? I think in Firefox it lives up in the corner, and you could do it in there too, but I'm going to hit add new, and then upload, and then I can just drag it right from here onto that. Saves a lot of time. Hit install. Hit activate. I'm going to close out of the download bar at the bottom. Don't need it anymore. And now it's active on my site, and you can see there's a MailerLite option here. So I need to come to settings. And my key has already been populated because I was testing this before I recorded the video. But let's say that this field is blank. What you need to do is you need to come back to MailerLite, come to the profile area here and choose integrations. And then you see you've got this developer API. You'll hit use, and then you're going to hit the copy button, and then that's what you're going to paste in this field. Okay, I've already got it there, so I don't need to, and then hit save. And that's, I'm going to just save it just for funsies. It automatically hides, and you see that I had over on the other tab, I had it blurred out. It automatically hides. You don't want to share that key because it means anyone can access your stuff. So now that has populated the website basically with that code. So what we need to do, whoops, I think I made a little mistake here, and I don't know if it's going to have saved this in the back. Let's see. Don't make this mistake if you do this. It actually did. It seems to have saved it, but I moved away from this tab before I actually hit save. You're not done yet. Once you get here, you actually have to hit next. And it's not on. So gratefully, it kept it in the browser. I didn't lose all the work that we just did. So don't do that. When you go to get your API key, open it in another tab or another browser window. So now what you need to do is you need to turn on, just slide that from pause to active, and that's it, right? So let's come back to my website. We're going to go to pages, and I'm just going to, I have a sample page that I just threw up a template on. I'm going to copy the URL from the sample, and I'm going to open an incognito window. On Windows, that's Control-Shift-N for Chrome, and on Mac, it's Command-Shift-N. And then I'm going to paste that link to that page, and I just want to do it so I'm not logged in. So I'm looking at the page as though I'm a user and not an administrator. So now what should happen is as I wait 10 seconds and scroll down, I should get a pop-up. So let's hope that works and I did everything correctly. And there it is. And that's it. So now if I were to drop my name and email into this form, it would go right to that list, and then I could start emailing them. So that's pretty cool. Now let me do one more, and I'm going to reload the same page in a new incognito window, and then show you that as I move the mouse away, it should. That didn't actually work. The exit intent. That's what should happen, and it may be because it may have flagged it with a cookie, and it may not have cleared quickly enough. So it might be why it's not showing. Let's do it in another browser. Go to that site again, and now I should, it might be flagged by IP address, I'm not 100% sure. So let's try exiting the page, and there it goes. As I move my cursor off the page and up to the, the window up here, that's when it's going to throw the pop-up. That's called an exit intent. and that will show when people go to leave, and that's been found to be pretty effective. So however you want to set up the display features, totally up to you. On my blog posts, when I was doing blogging, I would do a percentage. So as they scroll down a certain amount, or an amount of time, I would actually do all three. So I would say like show it after 60 seconds or 50% scroll. So whatever settings make sense for you, kind of test it and go from there. And then just one last thing, if you actually want to start emailing those people, then you would come to automation and you would set up a workflow. And that's not the scope of this particular video. This is kind of getting your pop-up set up, but this is where you would come. You'd set up a workflow where it says anytime somebody joins that group, send them an email. And that's how they get their automated email from you with your freebie or your discount code or whatever. Super simple. So I hope that this video has been helpful for you. I think that this will give a whole lot of flexibility and a whole lot of ease to a bunch of people. So I hope that this has done that for you. If you have any questions, I would be happy to help you. So you can email me at hello@courageandgrow.com and ask me any questions, and hopefully I can help you get this set up if you get stuck. Yeah, so anything you need is hello@courageandgrow.com. Again, I'm Anthony, and I'm with Courage and Grow, and I will talk to you soon. Cheers.